Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. Coming up next.
When you think about the classic venues to host the NFL's ultimate game, this one's right up near the top of the list. The Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. We are minutes away from Super Bowl 59, and we've got a tremendous matchup in store. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The tight end in motion right. Into the air right away is Allen. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Man coverage to start the game, and I expect we'll see a good amount of that. They trust their secondary to hold down the fort and let their pass rushers get home. And that's a good job right on play one.
2nd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
And that's one of those calls where you play it safe, but you're hoping that maybe something might spring for you because instead of forcing ball downfield on 3rd and long, maybe you can hit them with something underneath, break a tackle or two, pick up a block, and see what happens. Not here, though. Good job reading the screen, and it sets up 4th down.
Out come the Eagles for the first time, and the man in charge at quarterback in his 5th year now, Jalen Hurts.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And this one complete to Smith. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. That is caught. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 19 yards for Saquon Barkley. And the Eagles are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Allen to throw it. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. Trying to cover Cooper there a little too closely.
And he's such a tough cover because he runs his route so well. Hard to stay with him and hard to figure out exactly where the break points are. And in this case, he created another pass interference call.
Now Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Allen looking deep in the direction of Cooper. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
Quick slant here to Smith. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage. Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Throwing is Hurts.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and 3rd and 1 now.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep is Brandon Codrington.
Taking it about the 16.
13 yards, the tally on the return there.
And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Now Allen.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Now a 2nd and 10.
On play action, Allen.
Into the hands of the tight end, Dalton Kincaid.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there, and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field, because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
Here's Allen. And this is Cook with a grab. Oh, he shifts past him. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. His pass caught at the 4. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Josh Allen scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Bills have taken the lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Gregory Rousseau works his way in for the stop and the loss.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Hurts. Out left to Dotson.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
In motion left comes Brown.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
A first down carry for Barkley. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter.
We are just getting started here at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. 1 quarter in the books.
14-7 is the score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year, Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
Barkley inside handoff, and he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Smith will come in motion right.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Barkley. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
This is Smith with a grab. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal.
Barkley is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play, and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Allen now looks to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Coleman, the man in motion right. From the gun, it's Allen. That escapes the sack. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Motion man is Shakir.
Throwing now is Allen.
Shakir hauls it in.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know we can't do a mind meld and really know exactly what he was thinking, but I didn't see an open receiver there. Maybe, possibly, he did that on purpose and just overthrew him.
Yeah, coverage was good, so maybe indeed that was another way to throw it away, if you will. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They begin with a run by Barkley.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Fielded at the 33.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bills going to take over again on offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Allen
looking on the out route. He finds Shakir.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Allen going to throw. And that is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air, Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he gets it down to the 32. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Back to throw. Allen. Over the middle, complete. That's Coleman. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Escaping the pressure right. Allen hit. He lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills have come back to regain the lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Back to throw now on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 21. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Throwing is Hurts.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Smith. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what,
touchdown, Eagles!
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. To throw, it's Allen.
He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Pass incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Here, it was the always dangerous Saquon Barkley with the impressive first half. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this one complete to Smith. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Hurts. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 34. Here's Hurts to throw, and this will be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now Allen.
And he'll get this one to Cooper, complete.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. First down, here's the run with Cook.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
A yard all they need, but it's third down.
Here's Allen.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bills first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on third and a yard.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Up the middle, it's Cook.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Allen.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to have it here just past the 25.
Partner, I think this one won't arrive very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield, but he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A handoff, Barkley running left. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing now is Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Now Allen. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Now Allen again. It's caught by Coleman.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. To the air, Allen. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 17-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Allen going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Allen now looks to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Here's Allen to throw it.
Throw left side to Kincaid.
5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Eluding the pressure, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen punching it in from a yard away.
And the Bills are an extra point away from evening this one up.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Pick made by Terrell Bernard.
And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Bass on for the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Hurts now hoping to make up for that pick six.
To Barkley on the check down. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Hurts. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
So that's the end of 3 here in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Superdome. The fourth and final quarter coming right up. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the fourth and final quarter. And there's just one quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the fourth quarter.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
77 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hurts.
Over the middle to Smith. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 12-yard line. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in this Super Bowl.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they help.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Now still down 1. Here's an utterly critical extra point attempt here. And it is good. There were about 70,000 people about to turn blue from holding their breaths, but it's good, and this Super Bowl is tied.
This Super Bowl, it has had it all so far. All tied 4th quarter as it kicks away.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And this Super Bowl has been as good as advertised. Probably one of the best that we've seen in recent memory. All even here in this 4th quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Coleman, the man in motion left. To throw, it's Allen. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Now Allen.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Coleman, the man in motion right. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will be incomplete as well.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
From the 21, it's second and 10.
They go play action with Hurts. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here's Hurts to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Brown goes in motion left.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Open man has got it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. The 20. 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight.
And the Eagles have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead.
And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Elliott good with a PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards.
And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense.
And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Allen. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Allen. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Coleman, the man in motion left. Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
This to the tight end, Kincaid.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Give to Cook out of the gun. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Coleman, the man in motion left. On play action, Allen.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air, Allen.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They'll come out throwing here on first down.
This pass hauled in by Dotson.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And this will be caught by Brown. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here.
Throwing is Hurts.
And that will be incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with fourth down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
The Bills offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And it's quickly becoming now or never time in the Super Bowl, trailing by 7. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship.
And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense, pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
Allen now looks to throw.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. He's on his way.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick-6 on the other side, and now they get a pick-6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick-6 from earlier in this game?
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception. navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Buffalo set to get the football back here. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Allen to try again after the pick six.
And that's going to be incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Allen going to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. From the gun, it's Allen. This one complete to Coleman. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset.
Here's 1st and goal.
They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And it's caught.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Throwing, Allen.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. .90 ticks to go. Still time, but they need this onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And out now come the Eagles. And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll go to Barkley again.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third and 5.
A handoff to Barkley. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Allen and the Bills now down by 10. A little over 20 seconds to go. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. Now Allen. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Allen. Into the hands of Cooper. And he'll have a first down to the 45, but the tackle comes inbounds.
And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end